we had been through the summary of Elif Shafak's The Bastards of Istanbul. Today we'll be going through the themes of The Bastards of Istanbul. But before going through the themes of The Bastards of Istanbul, let's think for a while that what would happen if two families belonging to the Turk and the Armenian, they come together and start discussing a topic which is forbidden to discuss, the Armenian genocide. The Turk family, the Kazanchis, and the Chakhamachchins, the Armenians, they come together and discuss the Armenian genocide of 1915. That very thing, the same thing, is unraveled by Elif Shafak in her story, the novel The Bastards of Istanbul. We'll be discussing the themes memory, silence, and historical amnesia. We'll also be discussing identity and belonging, women agency and matriarchy, bridging the gap between East and West. You can construe many more themes from the novel, but these are the prominent dominating themes in this novel, so we'll be going through these themes. Okay, memory, silence, and historical amnesia. Now, the 1915 genocide of the Armenians, the hands of the Turks, that is totally forgotten by the Turks, but it's very dearly remembered by the Armenians. They live as diaspora in different parts of the world, specifically in the United States of America. They very dearly stick to this memory and they do not forget it. Even they have created a chat room in all the diaspora. They come together through that virtual chat room and discuss about the roots and the genocides and the wrongs and the difficulties and the hardships and the bloodbath they went through at the hands of the Turks. This novel, the past is not dead. It isn't dead. It's just buried. On one hand, the Armenians, they remember it very dearly. On the other hand, the Turks, they either do not know anything about it or just part themselves from it. They do not take the responsibility of being alleged in the devastating bloodbath which had occurred back in 1915. Okay, so this lady Armanosh, belonging to the Chakhamachchian family, Armenian family, she comes to Istanbul to the Kazanchi family, where we have got the Asya Kazanchi, the other central character of this story. She meets her and she asks about the Armenian genocide. No one knows about it. Even at the Kundera Cafe, the intellectual elite of Istanbul, the writer, the cartoonist, the poet, no one either knows about it, either do not know about it, or they do not tend to know about it. Okay, and they are not ready to take the blame for it. Armanosh says, this Asya says, how could you blame me for something which I haven't committed? If something is committed or has been committed or was committed in the past which was wrong, so I consider it wrong, but I could not be blamed for that. The Turks, they have been presented as a kind of people who live in the present and who think about the future. They do not care about the past. They've forgotten the past. And on the other hand, the Armenians, they are shown as people who very strictly stick to their roots and their history, and they do not tend to forget their past. Coming towards our second theme, that is identity and belonging. Now, every other character in this novel is going through the identity crisis. Asya, the central character of this novel, she does not know who his father is till the very end of the novel. But at the end, when she comes to know about Mustafa, her uncle, previously she would consider him to be her uncle, but now when she comes to know that he was her father, still she is unable to call him a father or an uncle. It was better not to know about him, rather to know him to be his father. Armanosh, she is also after finding her roots, what had happened to her, her family, where does she belong? She's got an American mother, the Rose, an Armenian father, and she's being raised by a Turk father, stepfather, Mustafa. So she very constantly struggles to find out her identity. Many other characters in this novel, for example, the dipsomaniac cartoonist and all other the intellectual elites who gather at the Kundera cafe, they also don't know what they are doing. Yes, they write the nationalist, ultra-nationalist writer who writes these things, but when he comes to the Kundera cafe, he marks his own writings. Now when he is asked, why do you do that? He says, I do not go with the state's policy. I'm just writing it to earn money for my living. So all of them, what they do is they are going through a collective trauma and a kind of just like a traumatic people does. They just harm themselves. They part from their families. They do not consider themselves to be a part of the state policies, and they go to some place where they could find solace and they spend their time. Both Asya and Armanosh are searching for who really they are. Asya feels like she doesn't fit in anywhere, not even in her own family. Armanosh feels torn between being American and Armenian, but when their paths cross, something beautiful happens. They discover that belonging isn't about blood or birthplace. It's about honesty, understanding, and shared truth. Now, women agency and matriarchy is one of the dominant themes of this novel. Now, in the Kazanchi family, we don't have any male member. All of them, they are female. We have got the Petitima, we have got Kulsum, we have got Faride, we have got Javeria, we have got Zaliha, and we have got Asya there, and we have got Banu there. And also we have got a male member of this family, but who lives in the United States of America. When Zaliha, after quitting her abortion, comes back home, her mother says, "You have stained the name of the family. You have just destroyed the reputation of our family by not going with the norms of the family. You wouldn't be able to do that if you're fortunate that we don't have a male member in our family." The story starts with Zaliha going for an abortion. The way she is dressed, the way she is walking, and the way she is cursing the taxi driver and the rain and also the road, the way the infrastructure is, it shows she is defying the patriarchal norms. the very Turks Zaliha running a tattoo shop, and Asya, like the way Asya lives, going to the cartoonist's office and spending her time with her friends in the Kundera cafe, and also Armanosh is coming to this Istanbul and spending time with Asya. It shows that how strong women are there, but it also shows that, look, the feminists believe that the patriarchal system, to maintain the hegemony of men in society, it conventionalizes the norms. Now the norms have been conventionalized, and even the women who are suppressed in the patriarchal system, they become accomplices in the oppression of the fellow women. Zaliha, though she hasn't got any share in staining the name of the family, she is cursed by her family members. And the mother, she every now and then curses her that just because of you not going with the accepted norms, just putting on these mini skirts and the dress which is not according to our culture, this is what all has happened. Okay, here is something unique. The men in this novel are almost ghosts. It's the women who rule the story. They are bold, mystical, stubborn, and alive. From Zaliha's fearless independence to Auntie Banu's strange spirituality. And we've got Banu here, who has got, through magic realism, Alif Shafak has put forward that, like, she knows about the mysterious things, the mysterious happenings. Now, a major portion of the novel revealing the identity of Asia's parentage and also Armanosh's connection with the Kazanchi family is brought forth through this magic realism. Mr. Bitter, with whom Banu talks and knows about these things, these mysterious happenings. Alif Shafak creates a world where women carry the memory, the shame, and the strength of generations. It's a quiet rebellion, a story where womanhood itself becomes resistance. And we've got the last dominant theme, according to me, that is bridging the gap between the East and the West. Now we've got families. We've got Rose, an American, and a half American Armanosh. She lives in the United States of America, and to find her roots in the Istanbul, she travels to Istanbul. Now she's going through identity crisis. There is some sort of phobia regarding the East. As Alif Shafak believes herself to be a global citizen, she doesn't think that she belongs to a certain place, a certain area. She says that this tribalism, just because of the tribalism, it has divided us so that we are unable to feel the pains of the other tribe, other people. Now Armanosh is maybe what is going on in her mind. She believes that the Turks, they are rude people, they are cruel, they are murderers. But when she comes to Turkey, Istanbul, she is accepted wholeheartedly. She is welcomed with the core of their hearts by the Kazanchi family. She is given respect. She befriends with Asya, and that is how the East and the West, they are brought together. The gap, and Rose also follows Armanosh, like while Rose is coming to Istanbul, she's a little bit nervous, and when she talks to Armanosh, she comes to know about Armanosh's being in Istanbul. She is very much anxious that in the East, it's like the West and the rest. In West we've got safety, in the East maybe something bad would happen to Armanosh. Now, the Bastards of Istanbul is a bridge between East and West, between tradition and modernity. Through food, language, and faith, Shafak shows how cultures can clash and yet still connect. Instead of choosing sides, she celebrates the beauty of hybridity, the idea that we can belong to more than one world at once. We have many more themes in these Bastards of Istanbul. Food can be another theme. The elements of postmodernism, very beautifully, some of them they have been used in this novel, like disintegration, like the pop culture. We'll be discussing them in the upcoming videos. Thank you very much for bearing with me. Thank you very much.